I've never been a jokester myself. Okay, so good evening, welcome. My name is Carolyn Klontz. I am the chairperson for Mountain View Neighborhood Association, and I've been asked to be the moderator for our program tonight. We are here this evening to talk about Slower, Safer Bend and some of the issues that have to do with that. And we're fortunate that all 8 of our candidates for City Council have agreed to come this evening and address those issues. Each candidate is going to have 5 minutes in which to give you some ideas from what they would do as a counselor. And after those are all finished, we are then going to have a short question and answer period. What I plan on doing is when we ask a question, we would like every one of the council candidates to address that. I have a timer. We're going to time each one of them for 5 minutes to begin with, then they'll have just 1 minute to address the question, which will still make it 8 more minutes for each one of those questions. So we're going to try to be done here by about 7:45, since we're starting a little bit late this evening, and we'll wrap it up. I see Mayor Jim Clinton has come in. I don't mean to put you on the spot, but I understood you were going to have a couple of words to say. Is that correct? Not correct?
It's correct if you so desire, but this is about the candidates.
Okay.
So maybe at the end, if anybody wants to learn about what I was talking about with my Kids Can Walk to School initiative,
Yeah.
I have some handouts and we'll do that afterwards.
Wonderful. We'll make sure that we close out in time then that you can do that. So thank you very much for bringing that with you. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each of the candidates from the positions, starting with position 5 and going through 6 and 7, address you. They're going to stand as they're talking, and I need to get my timer because I brought my timer.
Has volunteered the time.
Oh, wonderful.
She's got a little 30-second warning, and then she's got a great big hook.
Oh, a great big hook. Okay. Yes, and Bob Brill is reminding me, each one of you has a card on your chair, and you may write a question if you'd like. Those cards that have questions will be handed to Foster. Foster, where are you? There's Foster right there. He'll come around and collect them. And then what we'll try to do is see if the questions are kind of the same. We'll ask a question. We're only going to have time for probably 2. So even though a lot of you might write questions, we're going to be able to only address a very small amount so that we can be out of here in time. So, all right. So without further ado, I would like to invite Mark Capel, who is the first name on our list, and he is running for position 5 on the council. So is that microphone turned on, Mark?
You sit here?
Yeah, what you can do is just stand right where you're at, and you can use that microphone.
Okay, am I in the right spot? Am I too high, too low? Sound all right back there? Okay. My name's Mark Capel. I've been on the city council now for almost 8 years. I'm from Bend. My family's been here almost 100 years. It'll be 100 years next year. And I did the corporate thing and lived all over the country and then moved home 12 years ago. I'm a small business owner. And it has been a fun 8 years. And people sometimes look at me like I might be a little bit nuts when I say it's been 8 years of fun on council. But it actually is. It's really mentally stimulating. You learn a lot. You meet a lot of nice people, and you get involved in things you never would have thought you'd be involved in. So I honestly had no intention of running for a 3rd term. I told my wife I wasn't going to do a 3rd term. But I think right now we are at such a critical juncture for our community that, and because I enjoy it so much, I convinced her to, let's go one more time. And what I'm talking about is infrastructure. That's where I think we're at a critical juncture. I think we have done a really good job on council planning for long-term infrastructure. When I first got on council, we were thinking that year ahead kind of thing. And now we have long-term plans for water and sewer. And where we're missing the 3rd leg of the stool is transportation. And I was actually at a meeting. I'm chair of the Metropolitan Planning Organization, which is the group that does you have to have an MPO to get federal, if you're over 50,000 population, you have to have an MPO to get federal money for transportation. And I'm chair of that group. And last week before last, we actually had a meeting where we were looking at projected revenue sources for transportation projects. And from now until 2040. And then we were looking at the list of all of the projects that that need to be accomplished, and there's not enough money to complete them all. And what we need to do, similar to what we've done with water and sewer, is come up with a long-term plan. I think groups like this are ideal for getting involved because what I foresee and what I would see as the 2015 council goal for me is to have a lot of citizen input on which projects of this list of, say, 50 projects that are potential projects that need to get done in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15-year, 20-year time frame. What projects do the public want to see? Which ones are important to you? And then figure out a long-term way to fund those projects. Now, part of those projects, something like the MPO, some of the things we've done at the MPO, we've done Safe Routes to School. The funding for Safe Routes to School, most of it comes through the MPO. We've bought transit buses from the MPO, and all of the road projects that we've funded have included ADA requirements. And so what I would see in that transportation package is what roads and projects do we want to complete, and how do we think we can fund them as a community? Let's make that decision. And included in those projects are roads, improved transit, and improved ADA. Okay, so the part I think we're missing on infrastructure is that long-term transportation plan. We haven't got it in place yet. Now, I'll just make one comment about some of the things I've been reading in the newspaper about me that I think is interesting. I've been catching a lot of flack over from my opponent about raising rates for infrastructure projects. And I actually have, and anyone that's interested, I'd be happy to email it to you. I have a chart here that shows all of the cities in Oregon with a population over 20,000 and all of their utility bills. What's their average utility bill? And with the increases that we just voted in as a council, Bend comes in right in the middle in terms of rates. So the total average utility bill of $81.44, by comparison, Portland is $132 and Medford's $38. So I look forward to questions. Thank you very much.
All right. Yes, good. Thank you. And now Nathan Body, who is also running for position 5, will have his 5 minutes.
Good evening. Thanks very much. First of all, just let me say thank you very much for putting this forum together, and thank you for the invitation to speak. And also thank you to all of you for being in the audience here to discuss the very important issues that will no doubt be on the topics tonight. It bodes well for Bend that we have such good involvement from the public. My name is Nathan Body. I'm an internal medicine doctor at St. Charles, and I'm running for council because my opponent has been spending wildly and high dollar big ticket items that have essentially not left money and funding to do important things like transportation infrastructure. I think that the method by which he approaches public input and ideas from the residents of Bend leaves a lot to be desired. And I have a vested interest in the community and really care about maintaining our quality of life here and really improving the spending of our tax money. I also have a real interest in pedestrian and cycling options. I'm an avid cyclist and runner. I commute to the hospital from home every day or most days.